Like and subscribe right now, or this spider is gonna crawl on your face while you're sleeping. 10 strange and mysterious videos that cannot be explained. Humans have always been intrigued with the unexplainable and the simply absurd. The fascination of the unsolved and unexplainable has kept human thought engaged throughout history. People have often regaled their friends and loved ones tales of intrigue and adventure. Sometimes these are truths, while other times fabrications or exaggerations. Oral history is filled with such myths, legends, and traditional stories that they have been altered as they've been passed from one person to the next. With the invention of cameras and motion capture, many of these mysteries have been caught and preserved to the fascination of amateur investigators everywhere. Videos have stored these events as they happened, where few can doubt the authenticity of these events ever occurring. Number 10. Strange lights in the sky after an earthquake. There have been numerous sightings of strange blue lights in the sky over the years at places with tectonic activity or near active volcanoes that have not yet been fully understood. This luminous phenomenon has been spotted from 110 kilometers to almost 400 kilometers away from the earthquake's epicenters. These earthquake lights seem to generally appear during strong earthquakes, with the Richter scale tipping over 5 and higher. These reports have been diverse, from blue flashes to auroras of white hues, and even some reports seeing circular yellow lights above the center of the origin of the seismic activities. One of the earliest records of such incidents have been found from 19th century Japan, to the latest being all the way from the other side of the world in Mexico in 2017, when an earthquake of 8.2 magnitude occurred in the state of Chiapas. Some have even reported seeing these lights right before the earthquakes have even occurred. However, low-magnitude earthquakes have generally led to lower sightings of these mysterious lights. There have been quite a few possible explanations, from ionization of the atmosphere to generation of very intense electrical fields. Some believe that earthquakes disrupt the Earth's magnetic field, leading to these strange lights. Have you ever witnessed these lights, or have a plausible reason that can explain them? Be sure to let us know here. Before we move on, I've got a challenge for you that will only take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. Leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell. And boom! 25 years of amazing luck. Try it! It really works. Number 9. Strange creature in the Arabian desert. Do you believe in ghosts and monsters? All around the world, cultures have legends of some kind of monster lurking in the dark, ready to pounce at the unsuspecting people that may cross their path. Humans around the world have all sorts of stories of mythical creatures in their folklore, from sea creatures like the siren that hypnotize sailors to jump into the sea, the Japanese folklore of the kappa, an amphibious green humanoid-like demon with webbed hands, to the Lakiguapa, a monster in the shape of a woman with backwards feet that enchant men into the woods. But these creatures have never been caught on video. Yet that still doesn't mean that weary travelers on deserted roads and tracks don't ever encounter scary monsters. This video is one such example of a couple of friends traveling in the pitch black of night when suddenly they encounter a bent figure clothed in white, and they start filming it. The figure limps towards the car, then suddenly runs towards it. You can even hear it howl at the end of the video over scared screams of the passengers. Do you think that this was just a prank, or was it something darker and more sinister? Whatever it was, we certainly don't want to experience the horror that this cameraman did. Do you still think these monsters are just stories? Number 8. The Smiling Man. Encountering monsters in the dark while traveling on a dirt road is one thing, but sometimes people do strange things too. Although observing strange behavior is just as dependent on perception of the one observing, some things are downright creepy no matter who looks at them. Here is a video, one of several we may add, of this man who just sits and smiles at the camera for 4 hours straight. He never moves. In one video, he appears to even pee himself? Talk about dedication to your skill. In this video, there's even an intruder, possibly a robber, who enters his home and can be heard digging through items. But the person in the video doesn't even move because of that. You can see the intruder enter the home and watch the man just sitting there and staring at the camera, and then make a run for it. Throughout the video, the man stays sitting in the same position and keeps smiling, only blinking every now and then. Everyone has friends with quirky hobbies, but imagine walking into your friend's room and watch them just sitting on the floor while smiling eerily into the camera and not move even a muscle to greet you. Do you know someone with unexplainable hobbies? Let us know down in the comment section. Number 7. Eliza Lamb elevator video. Even 7 years after this video, nobody still knows what exactly happened to Eliza Lamb. The Canadian student was last seen in the hotel footage of the now famous Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles. To this day, nobody knows exactly how Eliza Lamb died. What we do know is that the 21-year-old Canadian college student was last seen in the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles on January 31st, 2013. But the infamously chilling hotel surveillance video that captured the bizarre final moments before her disappearance, let alone the other details that have emerged since, have only elicited more questions than answers. Ever since her body was discovered in the hotel's water tank on February 19th, her tragic demise has remained shrouded in mystery. Although the coroner's office ruled her death as an accidental drowning, the strange details of Lamb's case have fueled rampant speculation about what may have really happened. Internet sleuths had come up with a myriad of theories about the tragedy, involving everything from murder conspiracies to evil spirits. But when it comes to the disturbing death of Eliza Lamb, where does the truth lie? Number 6. Ghostly encounters. Have you ever had an eerie feeling that you were being watched? Have you ever seen a ghost? It appears that spirits visit humans at unpredictable times and places. Usually, people make up stories about seeing ghosts. But what if it was caught on camera? The sight of the unknown opens up so many questions. We try to recognize and rationalize what is seen. But what if there are no rational answers? This family from Michigan may be living in a haunted house. Even more disturbing is that they believe the presence might be negatively affecting their daughter as well. The video shows an upright figure walking past the crib while the baby all of a sudden stands up as if she feels the presence of the ghostly figure. Their 15-month-old daughter, at least the parents say, also has signs of scratch marks on her face. The family, for the time being, has decided to stay in the house. Would you want to live in a haunted house? Number 5. Teleporting dog. We humans might be light years away from teleporting on command, like in Star Trek stories, where all you hear them say is, "Beam me up, Scotty." But this dog has possession of the technology already. When recording a street race, you can see the dog appear as if out of thin air in between the speeding cars. The dog even seems to be unfazed by the cars hurtling past it as it trots happily to the side, briefly glancing at the cameraman as it goes on its merry way. Number 4. The Hessdalen Lights. UFO videos are usually laughed off as hoaxes or pranks. However, the Hessdalen Lights in Norway have been caught on video continuously and by so many sources that these can neither be ignored nor written off as an elaborate prank. These lights have been measured to be traveling at 30,000 kilometers an hour and can be witnessed at the same place several times during the year. Reports and witness testimonies date back to the 1940s, but caught global attention in 1981 when they were seen dozens of times a week. This caused a lot of interested people to gather at the Hessdalen Valley to witness it for themselves. They appear both by day and at night and seem to float through and above the valley. They're usually bright white, yellow, or red and can appear above and below the horizon. The duration of the phenomenon can be anywhere from a few seconds to well over an hour. Sometimes, the lights move with enormous speed. At other times, they seem to sway slowly back and forth. And on other times, they just hover in midair. Despite the ongoing research, there is no convincing explanation for this phenomenon. However, there are numerous working hypotheses and even more speculations. Number 3. Marfa Lights. The Marfa Lights, also known as the Marfa Ghost Lights, have been observed near US Route 67 on Mitchell Flat, east of Marfa, Texas, in the United States. The Marfa Lights have become popular as the people thought them to be UFOs or spirits. The first record of these lights was from 1883 by a young cowhand when he inquired about these lights with others. They said that they had observed them too, but found no physical evidence such as ashes or fires when investigated. Although scientific research suggests that these lights are atmospheric reflections or automobile headlights and campfires, but this has not been proven. Scientists have suggested that these may be mirages or car lights being reflected in the atmosphere. Number 2. Biba Struja. Biba claimed that he could create his own electricity and stun viewers when he used his hands to cook a sausage and an egg on live television. Biba Struja discovered his incredible ability to withstand high voltages when he accidentally pulled a live cable from the ground as a teenager and was unaffected by a shock large enough to kill him. An extraordinary person who can fry a hot dog with bare hands in an attempt to become the first human laser. Biba Struja, also known as Electric Biba, is capable of conducting electricity and claims that he can consciously control its power when discharging it. Is he an illusionist or a real superhero? Number 1. Eastern State Prison Ghosts. At Philadelphia's historic prison, Cell Block 12 is known for cackling and echoing voices, and Cell Block 6 for shadowy figures darting among the walls. The prison was run from the early 1800s for almost a century under the Pennsylvania system. It refers to the system designed by the Quaker to force the convicted felons incarcerated there to look deep within themselves to search for God. However, a lot of the prisoners would go crazy due to being held completely alone in complete solitude. The cells only had a small slit in the ceiling where the light of the sun would briefly pass through. Other than that, they would be kept in the dark, and communication and interaction were completely forbidden. Although the prison was meant for a capacity of little over 200, it had been packed with 7 times that number of prisoners, all put into makeshift cells with no ventilation and little light. Since its closure, visitors, employees, and those researching paranormal activity have reportedly heard unexplained eerie sounds throughout the prison. Tourists and employees have reported hearing weeping, giggling, and whispering coming from inside these prison walls.